This week on Rapid Render, we're taking a look at another tool for generating some CAD.
This week we're going to be taking a look at Hunyuan3D. This one is pretty similar to the Trellis one, so much so that I can't really tell what the difference is. The UI looks pretty much the same. I've been checking out a bunch of the ones that are on this site, and the only difference really is like how they're actually generating the 3D, all with varying degrees of success. One thing that I've noticed is that you are sharing, I think, like the server credit between all these sites. So some difficulty getting this one to obtain a server for it to generate. But what we're trying here is a Blinka model, just like a long strand. And the reason was so I could make like the chainable, like the flexible models that everybody always makes. Yeah, I did have to do some editing inside of the Illustrator file to actually get this Blinka to come out the way it did. I think the one that I used was I think the Pi Portal one, which had like her center portion chopped off, so I had to go in there and redraw it inside of Illustrator. But I got the like her little belly and all that going. But inside of Hunyuan, super simple again. It's a drag and drop interface. And this is obviously not the model that I used for it, but just wanted to see what it would do. As for the options, just like the resolution and the guidance scale, I didn't edit any of that. Scared to go ahead and regenerate it in fears that it will not be able to obtain a server to actually render this out. But here's the job that it was able to do. This would be okay for like a little plaque or something.
There it is.
Yeah, so again, brought in a blender using the sculpting tools. What I was trying to do was get Bamboo to have the faces separated so I can easily take the paint bucket tool and paint all the options in there easily, but that did not work out. So I had to go in there with the paintbrush inside of the paint bucket tools, go in there and just do that all by hand. So something again that, you know, you hear AI can do all this, but no, it can't. You got to go in there with your knowledge of how the design is actually supposed to go in and hand paint painstakingly. The funny part is when we were planning this out, you're like, oh, there's already a 3D model for it. I'm like, yeah, that's the one I made in Maya. So
Yeah.
again, this is something I've already done, have everything separated for the belly and all that. But then, of course, I wouldn't be, using the tools to try to get the segment going. So turned out pretty good. I'm using the 0.4 millimeter nozzle for this. Took about, I think, like 7 hours to print this little Blinka out. So much supports. And again, I did this straight Blinka because I want to go in there and generate a chained model that will be flexible.